But how you saying you didn't agree for you until everybody gets negative something like that?
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरू श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। Okay, um, today is the day of Diwali, and today is the day when this Damodar Lila happened. This month of Karthik is also called Damodar month. Usually, either we discuss this right on the first day of the month of Karthik or during the day of Diwali or somewhere nearby. Because this day of Diwali comes right in the middle of this month of Kartik. Today is the 15th day of Kartik Mass, the day of Diwali. Okay. Sri Sukadev Goswami continued, we are going to discuss this Leela from Shrimad Bhagavatam. And there are many important Srila Prabhupada purports that helps us to understand this Leela more. Sri Sukadev Goswami continued, one day when Mother Yashoda saw that all the maid servants were engaged in other household affairs, she personally began to churn the yogurt. While churning, she remembered the childish activities of Krishna, and in her own way, she composed songs and enjoyed singing to herself about all those activities. So this comes in Shrimad Bhagavatam 9th canto, this Leela. It actually extends to 9th, 10th, and 11th chapter. But we will be discussing only a part of the Leela from Bhagavatam. Rest I will complete it. And we will also discuss about Damodar Ashtakam and the meaning of the verses in Damodar Ashtakam. Um, Mother Yashoda has many servants, many servants. She is the she and Nanda Maharaj are king and queen of Vraja eternally. In the spiritual world, they are still. He is the leader of the cowherd men, Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda. Um, Mother Yashoda has many servants who assist in cooking for Krishna, bathing Krishna, and do many different activities eternally in the spiritual world. Um, but Mother Yashoda was receiving many complaints from nearby Brajvasi's home that Krishna is coming in their home to steal their butter. Now, uh, um, in Vrindavan, everybody, it is described that all the elder Gopas and Gopis, they love Krishna more than they love their own child. And the only reason they would churn butter is so that Krishna can come and steal our butter, so we can see him and we can complain to Mother Yashoda about him. So every devotee eternally in Golok Vrindavan wants loving exchanges with Krishna. And the way these elder Gopas and Gopis were desiring loving exchange with Krishna is somehow Krishna should visit our home and steal the butter. But at the same time, when they would complain to Mother Yashoda, um, that just adds spices to the pastime, and Mother Yashoda would punish Krishna, and then they would all come and giggle and laugh and see Krishna being punished, and that increases their joy of ecstasy. So in Vrindavan, everything is done for Krishna's pleasure. And Mother Yashoda was thinking, um, mm, somehow Krishna doesn't like butter in our home. Although the reason is not he doesn't go to steal the butter, he goes to give pleasure to his devotees and fulfill the desire of his devotees. He goes for that purpose. Um, um, just like for Krishna, the main quality is Bhakta Vatsala. He does everything for the pleasure of his devotees. Just like we know during the time of Bhishma Dev, Bhishma Dev, Krishna took a vow, I will not use any weapon, and Bhishma Dev took a vow, I will force Krishna to use weapon today. And on that day, Krishna broke his own vow and took the chariot wheel in order to kill Bhishma Dev. Um, so just to please Bhishma Dev. Likewise, Krishna does everything, whether it is stealing or breaking his vow or everything, just to please his devotees. But Mother Yashoda was thinking, our butter is not first class, and that's why Krishna is going to all their homes to steal butter. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, quoting from Vaishnav Toshani of Srila Sanatan Goswami. Srila Sanatan Goswami, one of the disciple of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wrote a commentary on 10th canto Bhagavatam, and it is called Vaishnav Toshani. Shri Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, one of the great commentator on Srimad Bhagavatam, he came probably couple of hundred years later, after Sanatan Goswami. So he is quoting Sanatan Goswami saying that the incident of Krishna breaking the pot of yogurt and being bound by Mother Yashoda took place on the Deepavali day or Deep Malika. So that is today when this Leela actually happened. Mother Yashoda thought that since this child Krishna was going to the houses of neighborhood Gopas and Gopis to steal butter because he did not like the milk and yogurt ordinarily prepared. Now, servants also have pure love for Krishna. Everybody in Goloka has pure love for Krishna. But Mother Yashoda, out of motherly affection, was thinking, I will myself churn the butter today and please Krishna so he doesn't have to go. Now, um, today is a day of Diwali. This is the morning time. Um, and there are a lot of services because Vrajvasis also celebrate Diwali. Um, so there are a lot of services to be done on that day, and the next day was Indra Puja, and the worship of Indra. Huge responsibilities are required for that festival. So Mother Yashoda was very busy, but out of her affection, she wanted still to leave all the things required for these big celebrations and personally churn butters just to please Krishna. So she was personally churning butter from yogurt made from the milk of Padmagandha cows. These cows are eat only eat flavorful grasses and give flavorful milk. These are from Srila Prabhupada's purport. There are certain personal cows of Mother Yashoda. Krishna has 900,000 cows, actually unginnat, unlimited. This number was there when he came to Golok Vrindavan. 900,000 cows, and some of the cows they eat only flavorful grass. There are some special grass which has lot of flavor, and these cows first they smell, and if it doesn't smell like most fragrant, they will starve. They only eat Padmagandha grass, so they are called Padmagandha cows. Gandha means fragrant. So because they eat that grass, they are personal cows of Mother Yashoda. The milk is very full of flavors, and the yogurt and the butter that comes out from it is full of flavors, and not many Vrajvasis have such quality of cows. So Mother Yashoda personally milked those 8 Padmagandha cows which are most special and made the yogurt the previous day, and early morning she sat down to churn the butter out of it. This is early morning and Krishna is still sleeping. um, um, the ladies of Vraja, another thing that is described is Mother Yashoda as she was churning the butter from yogurt. Um, she was constantly singing um, the pastimes of Krishna. So far, every day Krishna performs many pastimes. So far, now this Leela took place somewhere between age 1 and age 3. At this point of time, Krishna and the Vrajvasis are in Gokul. Now, in Vrindavan, there are 12 forests. They are called 12 forests of Vraja. Vrindavan is actually one of the forest. We call it Vraja or 12 forest of Vraja. Um, the word Vraja means moving. I heard in a video recently. So initially, when Krishna was less than at the age of in right in the childhood, Krishna, Mother Yashoda, and Nanda Baba, and their whole um, um, all the devotees used to live in Gokul Mahavan. At the age of 3, they moved from Gokul to Vrindavan, and around the age of 7, they moved from Vrindavan to Nandagram. So they were constantly moving. This Leela happened in Gokul Mahavan. Uh, at the age of 1, Krishna killed Trinavarta. So by this time, Krishna has already killed Trinavarta. At the age of 3, they left Gokul and they went to Vrindavan. So somewhere between 1 and 3 years of age, this happened. Krishna can comfortably walk. He would play with his friend. So that's the age. If you go to Gokul Mahavan, I went there 2012. There is still the grinding mortar as a remnants to which he was bound by Mother Yashoda. Yamuna flows over there. There is the room where um, um, Putana breastfed Krishna her milk. There is a room where Vasudev came and exchanged Krishna with Yashoda's daughter, Yogamai. So all these places are there still in Gokul Mahavan. Um, and every day Krishna would perform many pastimes, and what the gopis would do, um, gopis refers to two classes of people: elderly gopis and younger gopis. Younger gopis at this point of time, they are only children who have loving exchanges with Krishna and Madhurya. They are just 1 to 3 years old. Some of them may not have been appeared also by now. So Krishna is so small, and these gopis are the elderly gopis who are in parental rasa with Krishna. This Damodar Leela is actually sung by spoken and glorified by Satyavrata Muni also, in the form of Damodar Ashtakam that we sing every single day. Satyavrata Muni was also in Vatsalya Ras with Krishna. That's why his desire is to always see the Bal form of Krishna, the childhood pastimes of Krishna. He want to envision all the time. Um, um, and these elderly gopis, like just like in India, if somebody is early morning churning some butter, that kind of thing, then they sing some kind of songs, they do something while they are working. So these Srila Prabhupada says it's much easier to remember the song than to meditate on the pastimes. Like we also, if we know any song, say Damodar Ashkam Namamishwaram Sachitananda Rupam, then while doing something we may just recite the song. It's much easier to remember Krishna that way. So these gopis, they would compose songs describing Krishna's pastimes. And Mother Yashoda, while she was churning the milk, she was constantly um, 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 gungunana, murmuring those songs, and that made her feel her love for Krishna. Dressed in saffron yellow sari with a belt tied around her full hips, Mother Yashoda pulled on the churning rope, laboring considerably, her bangles and earrings moving and vibrating. So when you churn, you're like this. So her whole body is like shaking, her kundal, they are constantly vibrating, and her sari is saffron. Uh, Laboring considerably, her bangles and earrings moving and vibrating, and her whole body shaking. Because of her intense love for her child, her breasts were wet with milk. The milk was coming out naturally out of her affection for Krishna. Her face, with its very beautiful eyebrows, was wet with perspiration. She was very tired and she was perspiring. Sweat was coming from her face. She was moving to and fro, and malati flowers were falling from her hairs. So in Vraja, they decorate the braid, the hairs with flowers, and every day. So she has this malati flowers, and as she is working so hard, these flowers are falling down. It is described by Srila Prabhupada that in Braja, these elderly gopis, they have thin waists, full hips, and full breasts. So, and Prabhupada says that's a sign of a beauty. In Vrindavan, everyone is supremely beautiful, and that's a similar description given of Mother Yashoda. This is something Srila Prabhupada mentions. Very interesting. Prabhupada says advanced devotees in Vatsalyaras must cherish this description, always thinking of Mother Yashoda features, how she was dressed, how she was working and perspiring, how beautiful the flowers were arranged in her hair, and so on. One should take advantage of the full description provided here by thinking of Mother Yashoda in maternal affection for Krishna. So, those who are on an advanced platform of Raganuga Bhakti, for them these details given in Srimad Bhagavatam becomes extremely important, because they become the object of their meditation. These details, for those in Sakya Ras or Madhurya Ras, likewise there is similar description in Srimad Bhagavatam on the Gopas and the Gopis and others, and those details becomes very important. Um, Meditation on the Lord, meditation on Tadiya. Tadiya is um, um, that which belongs to the Lord, and becomes more a source of ecstasy than the Lord Himself. Like the garland Lord is wearing, the way the flowers are decorated, the way she is churning butter, or for different rasas. These are different meditations for devotees. While Mother Yashoda was churning butter, Lord Krishna desiring to drink, Krishna was sleeping, and he was feeling heart full of love emanating from Mother Yashoda. So he just could not tolerate and he got up. So desiring to drink the milk of her breast appeared from her, just like Krishna. Krishna drank Mother Yashoda's love in the form of her breast milk. Desiring to drink the milk of her breast appeared before her, and in order to increase her transcendental pleasure, he caught hold of the churning rod and began to prevent her from churning. So he kind of stopped her, because if she's churning, he cannot drink the milk. So he kind of stopped her and um, 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 express that desire. Uh, Prabhupada says Krishna started crying from hunger upon waking in the morning. Yashoda's bliss increased unlimitedly upon perceiving Krishna's cleverness. When she saw Krishna's face and crying for her milk, Mother Yashoda became very blissful, that you are very clever, that you are enacting in this way because you want to drink the milk. That's why you are crying. So Mother Yashoda then embraced Krishna, allowed him to sit down on her lap, and began to look upon the face of the Lord with great love and affection. Krishna's beauty cannot be described, and Krishna is sitting right in her lap, and she is just drinking the nectar of Krishna's face with great love and affection. Because of her intense affection, milk was flowing from her breasts. But when she saw that the milk pan, so Krishna started drinking, he's sitting on her lap. Mother Yashoda stopped churning the butter, and he simply, while Krishna is drinking, she's simply drinking the beauty of Krishna's face, and having that loving exchange, that deep loving exchange with Krishna. Um, but when she saw that the milk pan on the oven was boiling over, she immediately left her son to take care of the overflowing milk. This milk is also very special. This milk is Padmaganda milk, which Mother Yashoda herself um, herself गाय से निकाला उन्होंने. She did it personally, and she has plans of how to make some preparations with that milk for Krishna. So feeding Krishna her breast milk is also a service to Krishna, and saving the milk from boiling over to prepare different food items for Krishna is also service for Krishna. And Prabhupada says both are service for Krishna, and both were important. So there is nothing wrong in Mother Yashoda. She basically left her child. Krishna was not willing to leave her. He wanted to continue drinking milk, and she kind of uh, forced Krishna to leave her and ran to the stove to turn off the milk. Um, Krishna was not fully satisfied with drinking his mother's milk, but when Krishna was forced to live in that way, and Mother Yashoda ran away, devoiding him of the love that he was receiving from her, he became very angry. Um, um, Being very angry and biting his reddish lips with his teeth. So like this. He started biting his lips with the teeth. Krishna, with false tears in his eyes, um, broke the container of yogurt from a piece of stone. He became very angry. Um, um, he became externally angry at this point of time. Later on, he developed real emotions also. But here, he was like, I want to show to her um, how can she leave me? So in anger, you want to do what displeases others. So she was putting great effort to make that butter to feed Krishna, and he broke the pot and spread the butter all on the ground. तो मतलब Mother Yashoda milking the cows, boiling the milk, making into yogurt yesterday night, and throughout morning her lot of endeavor to make butter, everything went into the water. So he broke the container of yogurt with a piece of stone. There was a stone lying. Tuck. Then he entered the room and he wanted to eat butter. So he entered the room. There is a nearby room where the butter was kept on the rafters. There are some ropes hanging from the wall, and they put butter tops on each of others. So, but it's not easily reachable to Krishna. So he took a mortar, a grinding mortar. It was kept in an upside down position. He stepped on that, and he started taking his hand and started taking the butter out um, um, from those pots. Then he entered the room and began to eat the freshly churned butter in a solitary place. It is natural, Prabhupada's purport. It is natural that when the child becomes angry, he can begin crying with false tears in his eyes. He was not really angry at this point of time, but he wants to teach to Mother Yashoda and show his anger that why did you devoid me of your milk, um, for this to turn off the milk. Mother Yashoda, after taking down the hot milk from the oven, returned to the churning spot. Our acharyas describe everything in spiritual world is conscious. So the milk was also thinking that Krishna is so happy drinking her own mother's breast milk. Um, who cares about me now? What is the use of my existence? So he started entering into the fire, thinking that अभी मेरा क्या फायदा? He is getting his mother's milk. What will I do? I cannot serve Krishna, and if I cannot serve Krishna, what's the use of my life? So he wanted to commit suicide by entering into the fire. And Mother Yashoda was conscious of that, and she ran away to turn off the milk. Mother Yashoda, after taking down the hot milk from the oven, returned to the churning spot. And when she saw that the container of yogurt was broken and that Krishna was not present, she concluded that the breaking of the pot was the work of Krishna. When she saw, she understood, ये इसका काम है, जरूर कृष्णा ने ऐसा किया है. Yashoda, Prabhupada purport, Yashoda concluded that this was definitely the work of her son. Touching her forefinger to her nose, she started laughing. And she's doing like this, and then she was smiling because um, when a child does anything, especially when there is such great loving affection, it is natural for mother to just laugh at child's activities. So she started laughing. Krishna at that time was sitting on an upside down wooden mortar. These are all different verse by verse. We are going from Srimad Bhagavatam and the commentary by Srila Prabhupada. 10th canto. Krishna at that time was sitting on an upside down wooden mortar for grinding spices and was distributing milk preparations such as yogurt and butter to the monkeys as he liked. So Prabhupada explained monkeys helped Krishna as Lord Ram. So he is paying back the debt to the monkeys by now feeding him yogurt and butter. Because of having stolen, he was looking all around with great anxiety. Because he was stealing, he was looking around because he was fearful if Mother Yashoda comes to know. uh, Now when we do something wrong, guilt feeling comes in our heart. So Krishna broke the pot and Mother Yashoda must be angry. He was thinking like that. She was externally angry, but internally she has so much love and affection. um, so he was very afraid of the anger of Mother Yashoda. Even when the gopis come and when Krishna is caught red-handed, and they tell, when Krishna is stealing butter and they are caught red-handed, they tell Krishna that now we will complain to Mother Yashoda, and Krishna starts crying. Please, please, please don't tell Mother Yashoda. So he is very afraid of Mother Yashoda's anger. So he is looking here and there if Mother Yashoda is coming. On the top, this butter is meant for cooking, for feeding Krishna, the whole family, and many, many purposes. And he's, in terms of Mother Yashoda, wasting it away by giving it to monkeys. Monkeys means since I cannot eat. Another explanation Prabhupada says Krishna was thinking, this butter is so useless. And he started giving to monkeys. It's not worth him to eat. Uh, so giving to monkeys for Mother Yashoda is like wasting away the butter. It has so many purposes, so many things to do with that. So much effort went in preparing that. So now in Vraja, everything is handmade. Everything. Um, so there are no machines and there are no Walmarts and Costco and we just go and buy everything. Whether it is the sindoor you put, it's also handmade. Whether it is a perfume, um, sandalwood, they are also made by different devotees. Whether it is butter yogurt or um, um, necklaces, there are some devotees who make necklaces out of love for Krishna. Everything is in that community. Everyone has service and they work very hard. And because everything is made by devotees and the devotees are full of love for Krishna, everything in Vrindavan is full of love for Krishna. Everything. So he was very afraid of Mother Yashoda, and he was, while he was giving the butter to monkeys, he's looking here and there, all around with great anxiety, suspecting that he might be chastised by his mother. Mother Yashoda, upon seeing him, very cautiously approached him from behind. It is described. Um, um, okay. Um, Mother Yashoda was able to trace Krishna by following his butter smeared footprints, because when he broke, the butter spread, and when Krishna stepped on the butter, his legs became filled with butter, and he was walking. There was butter footsteps. Uh, Hearing the jingling sound of his waist belt. Um, that's how they put on the children. Even in uh, Vedic culture, women also wear ankle belts. So when they walk, everybody knows they are walking. So likewise, nowadays it's not common to see that. There were noises coming from the other room because of monkeys and crows were also there. So she saw that Krishna was stealing butter. He was looking here and there, but Mother Yashoda was hiding and looking at Krishna. Yashoda's face broke into smile. So that shows her feeling. She was looking, and when Krishna was very afraid, and monkeys chee 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 chee, and they were drinking butter, and the crows were entering the room, and the crows were also there. The crows came out. Monkey sensed Mother Yashoda coming, monkey also became fearful and they left. And Krishna was all alone. And Krishna was standing and he saw Mother Yashoda. And Mother Yashoda was carrying a stick also in her hand. She was internally very, very pleased and full of love for Krishna, but externally she was feigning anger at Krishna that you broke and you're stealing and you're giving it to monkeys, you monkey boy. So that was the feeling. When Lord Krishna saw his mother stick in hand, he very quickly got down from the top of mortar and began to flee. He was so afraid, he kind of in rush jumped from the mortar and he started running. And he was as if very much afraid. Although yogis tried to capture Krishna as Paramatma by meditation with great austerities and penances, they failed to reach him. But Mother Yashoda, thinking that same supreme personality of Godhead Krishna to be her son, began following Krishna to catch him. Um, 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 Yoga Maya covers in Vrindavan all the residents, and they don't know Krishna's majesty and who Krishna is. So she was so imbued out of her love for Krishna that Krishna was afraid. Mother Yashoda has stick in her hand, and She was running, and Krishna just got down, looking here and there, and he doesn't want to be caught because he may be beaten up by the stick of Mother Yashoda, and he very cleverly escaped her way from the door and started running. Um, Yashoda held a stick in her hand to instill fear in Krishna. He is described as very much afraid, Prabhupada's purport. And this is something a prayer from Queen Kunti. Kunti, when she saw Krishna, when Krishna was about to leave for Dwarka after Mahabharat war was over, Kunti wanted to stop Krishna, and Kunti offered beautiful prayers in first canto, 8th chapter. After that, Krishna actually stopped, and Krishna didn't go and stayed with Kunti and Pandavas for few months. This is after the Mahabharat war was over, and the Pandavas and Maharaj Yudhishthira was the king now. Krishna thought Maharaj Yudhishthira is king, the enemies are killed. Now let me go to Dwarka, I have many things to take care. But the affection of Pandavas and Kunti didn't let him go, and he stayed. So she offered beautiful prayers, and one of the prayer is, "Oh Krishna, Yashoda took up a rope to bind you when you committed an offense, and your perturbed eyes overflooded with tears, which washed the mascara from your eyes. Um, you were afraid, though fear personified is afraid of you. This sight is bewildering to me." Kunti Devi says, "I cannot understand, Krishna. As a small child, you are Supreme Personality of Godhead, and you are afraid of a small stick. You fought with Jarasandha with millions of soldiers, you single handedly killed them. Um, and fear afraid, Yamraj is afraid of you, and you are afraid of a small tiny stick of Mother Yashoda." Krishna was afraid out of love, of from the it's a everything in Vrindavan is filled with love. Now another description is Krishna's mascara eyes. Mascaras is black powder that is also handmade. In Vraja, everything is handmade. That's how they all are very busy, because they all work very hard to prepare items for Krishna's pleasure and the pleasures of devotees. So in Vrindavan, um, especially mothers, they put mascara on the uh, both eyes of Krishna. They give a black mark, and it looks very beautiful. And the gopis and Mother Yashoda, they all every day they put mascara on their eyes. So when Krishna tears were coming, it's like a black drops falling. And then Krishna was doing like this, so his whole face was eyes were bulging, and face has this black marks all over, and he was very afraid, but he was looking extremely beautiful. And Mother Kunti, remembering this pastime, she is like, "Krishna, I cannot understand." You are supreme personality of Godhead, and you are performing such pastime. How do I understand? It's bewildering to me. This sight is bewildering to me. Uh, but this is devotees. They don't, especially in Vraj mood, they don't want to worship God. They respect God. They treat Vishnu as God, but Krishna they think as a cowherd boy. That's how the Vrindavan mood becomes very very sweet. So Satyavrat Muni, who is one of the sage, he wrote Damodar Ashtakam, and he has this prayer: Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lashat Kundalam Gokule Bhrajamanam Yashodabhyolukhaladhavamanam Paramishtam Atyanta Todutya Gopya. Namamishwaram. Nama is I offer my obeisances to Ishwar, who is Sachitananda Rupam, whose form is Sachitananda, full of knowledge, full of bliss, and eternal. Lashat Kundalam, and he has Kundal. Kundal is the earrings. Lasat is they are swinging to and fro. Gokule Brajamana, and they are shining. So this is a beautiful description. As you see in a picture, Krishna has this earring. They are called shark-shaped earrings. So they are like the shape of a shark, like this, like just like a fish. So that kind of earring, they are called shark shaped earring, and they are shining, they are glowing. And as Krishna was running, these earrings are moving to and fro. Yashoda Bhiyo, and he is running out of Bhaya, Bhiyo, the fear of Mother Yashoda. Bhiyo Lukhala Dhavamanam, and Ukhal. Ukhal is mortar, grinding mortar. Ukhal. So, out of fear of Mother Yashoda, and to be caught and tied by that ukhal. So he is running, and Paramishtam Atyanto Dutya Gopya, and this Gopya is referred to Mother Yashoda. Um, um, to the Supreme Lord who possesses an eternal form of blissful knowledge, whose glistening earrings swing to and fro, who manifests himself in Gokul, um, who stole the butter that the gopis kept hanging from the rafters of their storeroom, and who then quickly jumped and ran in retreat in fear of Mother Yashoda, um, but was ultimately caught. To that Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances. Okay. Um, Paramrishnam, he was Mother Yashoda was running behind. Atyanto Drutya refers to she was running behind with a greater speed. So Krishna is running ahead. His description, Mother Yashoda is he was out of fear running, and Mother Yashoda is running behind at a greater speed, and he finally caught Krishna. So that's how Satyavrat Muni described this Damodar Leela. Okay, continuing Bhagavatam. While following Krishna, Mother Yashoda, her thin waist, overburdened by her heavy breasts and heavy hips, naturally tend to reduce her speed. Everybody in Vrindavan has a very thin waist. But these elderly gopis, they have heavy breasts and heavy hips. So she could not walk so because she was burdened, so she could not walk so fast, but still she was able to catch Krishna. Because of following Krishna very swiftly, her hair became loose, and the flowers in her hair were falling after her. So they have this malati flowers decorating, but they usually don't do that kind of running. They are, they are aged. So eternally she is like that. That's her eternal form. So they don't do such kind of laborious work, and she is running, and Krishna is making her run, and she is feigning anger. Krishna's fear was actually real fear here. It's not a fake fear. He was actually afraid because Krishna allows himself to be covered by his own yoga maya potency, and he forgets himself, and he gets lost in the pastime, and then he was actually afraid. So as Mother Yashoda was running, they have this decoration, but if you run, they start falling. So our acharyas explain everything has a deeper meaning. That there were two kinds of flower, one kind of three kind of flowers actually. One kind of flowers were falling down to offer obeisances to Mother Yashoda, saying that on her lotus feet, saying that how great is Mother Yashoda. I mean, she's catching Krishna, and Krishna is running in fear. Another kind of flowers were falling down to make her light, because they want Krishna to be caught. So they were falling down to make her weight little lighter, so that Krishna can be caught. Another kind of flower were falling down, um, because they don't want to be the cause of catching Krishna. They were, some were on Mother Yashoda's side, some were on Krishna's side. Those who are on Krishna's side were falling down. We don't want to support this act of Krishna being caught. Some were falling down who were on the side of Mother Yashoda, either to offer obeisances to her lotus feet or to make her light so that she can quickly catch Krishna. So either ways, the flowers in her hair were falling down. Yet she did not fail to capture her son, and finally Mother Yashoda caught him. And she had a stick in her hand, and that was a description that Satyavrat Muni gave. Tears, mascara, blackish eyes. He is looking ghastly, afraid of Mother Yashoda, and Mother Yashoda mildly chastised him. We will see that. Bhaktas can capture Krishna simply by love and affection. This is an example shown here by Mother Yashoda. Krishna therefore confirmed that if one wants to capture him, one must undertake devotional service. We cannot catch Krishna, um, but Krishna, by his own sweet will, agrees to be caught. That's why Nectar of Devotion, first chapter, explains the six characteristics of Shuddha Bhakti. And one of the characteristic is it is very, very rare. And it captures Krishna. It pure devotional service controls Krishna. That's why it's so rare. Krishna does not give pure devotion easily. You ask Krishna for wealth, Krishna will give you. You ask him for money, for beautiful spouse, beautiful children, opulence. Krishna doesn't care, Krishna will give you. But if you ask Krishna, give me pure love, then Krishna says no. That I won't give. After a very, very long time, Krishna gives pure love. And that's why devotees don't ask anything other than pure love, because they know this is the most sacred thing. Continuing Shrimad Bhagavatam. When caught by Mother Yashoda, Krishna became more and more afraid. I mean, the object of fear is in front of him. Out of love, but for Krishna it was like Mother Yashoda was perfectly feeling anger. Krishna became more and more afraid and admitted to be an offender. And Krishna said, I am sorry, I made a mistake. I offended you." So Krishna admitted to being an offender out of fear, so that she does not um, strike Krishna with that stick. As she was looking, actually, it is this. Our acharyas explained the stick was also very afraid. The stick thought, "Arey, I am a servant of Krishna. Will I be used to hit Krishna?" So she was the stick was kind of curving away from Krishna, that I don't want to be used in such a service of hitting Krishna. My goal is to serve Krishna. So when caught by Mother Yashoda, Krishna became more and more afraid and admitted to being an offender. As she looked upon him, she saw that he was crying, his tears mixing with black ointment around his eyes. Same description as Satyavrat Muni. And as he rubbed his eyes with two hands, he smeared the ointment all over his face. Mother Yashoda, catching her beautiful son by the hand, mildly began to chastise him. So this is second verse of Damodar Ashtakam. Satyavrat Muni says, "Rudantam muhur netra yogamam rejantam karam bhoja yogamena shatanka netram muhu swasakam patri rekhanka kantha sthitagravam damodaram bhakti bhaddham." Rudantam, he was crying. Rona. Rudantam, moho. Moho is again and again. He was crying, and again. Netra yugma mrijantam. Mrijantam, he was rubbing his eyes. And netra yugmam. Yuga. Yuga means two. Like Yugala Kishore. So yug means two. Netra yugmam, the two eyes he was rubbing. How he was rubbing? Karam bhoja. Bhoja is hands. Like Krishna describes Kunti Bhoja. Arjuna is Kunti Bhoja. Oh, mighty armed son of Kunti. Uh, um, so Karam Bhoja Yugmena. He was rubbing again his two eyes with his two hands, like this. Shatanka Netram, and his eyes was filled with Shatank, fear. um, Muhu, again and again. Swasha Kampa. Kampa is he was trembling in fear. Mhm. So when he saw the stick, he started crying. "Please, please don't hate me. I'm sorry." And his whole face was filled with mascara, and he was trembling. Tiri Rekhanka Kantha. Kantha is neck. Like we say kanthi mala peno. Kanthi mala is this. So kantha. Tri rekha kantha. So because he was like this, so they were like the skin were folded and it was like three lines like a conch shell. If you see a conch, blowing conch, in the beginning of conch there are some rings. So like that, there's a beautiful description of three rekhanka kanta. His neck was like they were like those kind of curls like on a conch. So beautiful description. Sthita Gravam Damodaram Bhakti Bhaddham. Um, okay. Um, Sthita Graivam is refers to Graivam is pearl necklace. His pearl necklace was also swinging. Um, Pearl necklace, eyes, chick, mascara, shatanka, and trembling out of fear, and a beautiful description of. So this is a description of Krishna's fear. Upon seeing his mother's whipping stick, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. The word uses karam bhoja, ambuj. Ambuj is lotus. Karam, no, okay, I think I'm mistaken. Kara is refers to hand, and bhoja is refers to lotus. Ambuj, ambuj. Um, he cried and rubbed his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes were fearful and his breathing quick. Swasa is breathing quick. And Mother Yashoda bound his belly with ropes. He shivered in fright and his pearl necklace shook. To the Supreme Lord, Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances. Proper rise in the purport, even the most powerful Yamraj fears Krishna. Therefore, when we find in the history of Ajamil, Yamraj instructed his followers, the Yamdutas, not even to approach the devotees, but to speak about capturing them. Yamraj became upset with Yamdutas when they approached Ajamil, and Yamraj said, never approach devotees of Krishna. That means devotees of Krishna never has to see Yamaraj. Yamaraj instruct all the Yamdutas. In other words, Yamaraj closed his eyes and went into the meditation, and he lamented that um, Lord Narayan's devotee Ajamil has to see such fearful form of Yamdutas. Yamraj also fears Krishna and Krishna's devotees. Yamraj himself is a Mahajan, a pure devotee of Krishna. Yet this Krishna became so dependent on Mother Yashoda that when she simply showed Krishna the stick in her hand, Krishna admitted to being an offender and began to cry like an ordinary child. Fear personified is afraid of Krishna, but Krishna is like afraid of Mother Yashoda, and that's how she chastised Krishna. Yashoda mildly chastised Krishna. You have such a restless nature. I mean, I just went to turn off the milk and you broke and you are feeding to the monkeys and you are running. I have so many things to do. And so you have such a restless nature. Oh, friend of the monkeys, the pot breaker, where will you get the butter today? Like chastised in a way that every day you go and steal. Where will you steal today? Now I shall bind you so that you cannot steal butter and eat it with your friends. So now Mother Yashoda was determined to bring him back, and Mother Yashoda was caught hold of Krishna's hand, um, and she was bringing Krishna back because he was running back to Gokul, the home in Gokul, to tie him with a grinding mortar. And now Krishna was very afraid and he's crying, and then he's walking with Mother Yashoda. What can he do? And she's chastising Krishna, but she's deriving great bliss by touching Krishna and by having Krishna near to him. Um, Continuing Srimad Bhagavatam, Mother Yashoda, who was always overwhelmed by intense love for Krishna, not knowing that who Krishna was or how powerful he was, because of maternal affection for Krishna, she never even cared to know who he was. Therefore, when she was her therefore, when she saw that her son has become excessively afraid, she threw the stick away and desired to bind him so that he would not commit any further naughty activities. When she saw that Krishna is too afraid, she threw the stick because ultimately her goal is just to love Krishna. So she threw the stick, but she wanted to bind him so that he would not commit any further naughty activities. Now, already so much time has gone, and Yashoda has so many things to do for Diwali celebration today and Indra Puja tomorrow. and if he runs away, if he does something, if he hurts himself, it's I don't have time for all these things. So she bound Krishna, and Krishna was very acting very unstably also, because quick breathing and this and his face and fear. So she doesn't know what he will do in that fear. um, Question: can one bind Mahavishnu universal form? That is the expansion of Krishna. Krishna cannot be bound. By his inconceivable energy, he allows himself to be controlled by love and bound by his beloveds. Continuing Srimad Bhagavatam. When Mother Yashoda was trying to bind the offending child, she saw that the binding rope was short by a distance of with 2 fingers. Thus she brought another rope to join it. Krishna was thinking, I cannot be bound up because I must do my daily duties of stealing yogurt and playing with my friends. Every day in the morning, Krishna would wait, his friends would come, and he, Balaram, and friends would go and steal butter. Um, these are his daily duties. What is the daily duty of Krishna? To steal butter and to play with his friends. Um, so, although um, Krishna was covered by his Yoga Maya potency, and he was actually very, very afraid. When Mother Yashoda was trying to bind Krishna, Krishna just thought, I don't want to be bound. And just that desire that I don't want to be bound, his mystical opulence came up there. So Krishna was just thinking, and Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur writes Krishna's Vibhuti Shakti, the 10th chapter is Vibhuti Yoga, opulence of Krishna, inspired by his Sankalpa Shakti. Sankalpa is um, the power to fulfill each and every desire of the Lord. I take a Sankalpa like that. So Krishna has this Sankalpa Shakti or Ichha Shakti. Whatever Krishna desires happens. See, for us, when we desire, Krishna has to sanction, then it happens. I want this job, Krishna has to sanction. I want this home, Krishna has to sanction. If Krishna doesn't sanction, we don't get it. But Krishna has no such thing. Whatever he desires, it just happens. So Krishna just by his Sankalpa Shakti, he was thinking, I don't want to be bound, and now nobody can do anything. Even Mother Yashoda could not do anything. And he was not even remembering that he is Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he had this Shakti with him. So he just bound, he just desired Sankalpa Shakti, and suddenly entered into the body of Krishna at that time, and the rope was short. So Mother Yashoda got another rope, she bound another rope, and she tried to bind Krishna. Continuing, in other words, one must be in transcendental love with Krishna, but that does not mean that one can control Krishna. When Krishna is satisfied with one's devotional love, he does everything himself. He reveals more and more to devotees as the devotees advances in service. So we render devotional service to Krishna, but that does not qualify us to control Krishna. That is Krishna's mercy. Krishna, by his own free will, can submit to our desire and fulfill our desire. But Krishna is not bound to fulfill. Just like Srila Prabhupada wanted to start Krishna consciousness in India, and Krishna was not willing for him to do so. But when Prabhupada came to America, Krishna allowed him to spread Krishna consciousness movement all over the world, with America as the starting point. Krishna allowed that. So, although Prabhupada intensely desired, he's a pure devotee of Krishna, yet Krishna didn't allow. So Krishna has this Shakti. He's controlled, yet he has his independence. And when he desires something, I don't want to be bound. Nobody can do anything. His Sankalpa Shakti comes there. Um, and um, um, to the extent we have love, to that extent we can bind Krishna. Yet Krishna holds a free will there. And one lecture I was hearing, the more we advance, the more our enthusiasm to serve Krishna becomes stronger. And recently, Himangi Gopi Mataji gave a wonderful class. I was listening that Bhagavatam class in the temple, and she was mentioning that mercy is everywhere. Mercy is flowing everywhere. Um, to the extent of our service attitude, we can become recipient to that extent, that much mercy. Mercy is everywhere, but based on our eagerness, our eagerness expressed through our service. Based on our eagerness to attract Krishna's mercy, that much sooner we attract Krishna's mercy. Krishna is sitting in our heart. Krishna is watching every thought. Krishna is watching our desire, our mood, and if our mood and desire and everything is favorably disposed towards Krishna, um, then more and more mercy will come, and gradually we advance also. This new rope, so she joined another rope. um, this new rope was short by a measurement of 2 fingers, and when another rope was joined to it was still 2 fingers too short. As many ropes as she joined, all of them failed. Their shortness could not be overcome. So as she was adding more and more ropes, no matter how many ropes she added, it was 2 fingers short. Krishna exhibited his unlimited potency to Mother Yashoda when she tried to bind him. The rope was too short. Thus, Mother Yashoda joined whatever ropes were available in the household, but still she failed in her attempt to bind Krishna. Mother Yashoda's friends, the elderly gopis in the neighborhood, were smiling and enjoying the fun. So everybody came out and they were kind of very much enjoying Mother Yashoda running behind Krishna, Krishna smiling. They always want Krishna to be chastised, just to derive great bliss and satisfaction from that. Um, um, so when Krishna was crying and they were kind of very much enjoying that childhood pastimes of Krishna, were smiling and enjoying the fun. Similarly, Mother Yashoda, although laboring in that way, was also smiling. Um, so Mother Yashoda was not really angry; she was also smiling. All of them were stuck with wonder. Why? They all were thinking, "Arey, Mother Yashoda is adding so many ropes." Mother Yashoda was thinking, "I am adding so many ropes. I am unable to bind Krishna." Krishna has shown these wonders many, many times in the past also. Prabhupada's purport, to bind Krishna, should have required only a rope not more than 2 feet long. All the ropes in the house combined together might have been hundreds of feet long, but still he was impossible to bind, for all the ropes together were too short. Naturally, Mother Yashoda and her gopi friends thought, how is this possible? It's not that they were having multiple rounds to bind Krishna. They just were trying to bind Krishna one round, and every time it was 2 fingers short. Um, so Mother Yashoda and everybody was struck with wonder, and they were thinking, "This is Krishna's vibhuti, Krishna's opulence came into picture at this point of time." And they were thinking, "How is it possible?" Many many times Mother Yashoda, when she saw universal form in the mouth of Krishna, Putana and Trinavarta got killed. Every time she was thinking, how is it possible? But she just thought Garga Muni telling Krishna is not different from Narayan. Um, so she just thought she is protected by Narayan. She has Shakti of He has mercy of Lord Narayan. She never thought he is Lord Narayan. She just thought he has mercy of Lord Narayan. That's why this is happening. So she was stuck with wonder, how is it possible? Seeing this funny affair, all of them were smiling. Furthermore, when I tie the ropes together, each time it is 2 fingers short, not 3 or 4 fingers. That is the second amazing thing. First amazing thing, it's always short. Second, it's short by the same length. She would cover, and the rope will come this close. And if you put 2 fingers, the rope will end here, and she cannot tie. Another rope added, the rope became longer, and she tried to join, still the same. And she's like, "How is it possible?" Then again and then again. So that continued. This is described in the third verse by Shatabrat Muni. इति दृक्ष्वलीलाभिरानन्दकुण्डे स्वघोषं निमज्जन्तम् आख्यापयन्तम् तदीशितानिषु भक्तजिता त्वं पुनः प्रेमतस्तं सतावृत्ति वन्दे इति दृक्ष्वलीलाभिः. Like this, um, swalilabhi ananda kunde. Okay, like this, Krishna was performing his leelas, his pastimes, and um, Ananda Kunde is like full of bliss, and that gave lot of bliss to Brajvasi. Just like Mother Yashoda and other gopis were feeling so much bliss to see the wonder that Krishna cannot be bound, like these pastimes were happening in Vraja every single day, which was full of wonder and full of sweetness of Krishna simultaneously. And they all were out of their love and the divine potency Haladini Shakti were filled with Ananda. Swaghosham, Ghosha is Vrindavan, the place of cows, Ghosham, Swaghosham, his own village, which is Vrindavan. Swa means his own. Swaghosham Nimajantam Akhyapayantam. Um, Nimajjantam Akhyapayantam. Nimajjantam is they were drowning. They were drowning in this ocean of Ananda. Uh, Tadiyashitaneshu bhaktairjithatvam. um, Tadiyashitaneshu. So by this pastime they want to show that not by knowledge or by opulence but only by bhakti jitatva punha prematastam, again and again, um, um, with love. Sata vritti bande. Sata means 100. Sata. Sata vritti bande. I offer my obeisance to Lord Damodar hundreds and hundreds of times. Those super excellent pastimes of Lord Krishna's babyhood drowned the inhabitants of Gokul in pools of ecstasy. Ananda Kunde. Um, Drowned is Nimajjantam. Um, to the devotees who are attracted to only his majestic aspect of Narayan in Vaikuntha, the Lord herein reveals, I am conquered and overwhelmed by pure loving devotion. Bhakti Jitatva, not by Tadi Ishita. Ishita means opulence. Neshu, not by these things, by opulence, but only by bhakti. Um, to the Supreme Lord Damodar, my obeisances hundreds and hundreds of times. Because of Mother Yashoda's hard labor, her whole body became covered with perspiration, and the flowers and comb were falling from her hair. When child Krishna saw his mother thus fatigued, he became merciful to her and agreed to be bound. When Mother Yashoda and the other ladies finally decided that Krishna was so fortunate that he could not be bound. I mean, anything with Krishna was possible because he has done so many wonderful things. So they thought Krishna cannot be bound. And thus they gave up their idea of binding him. Mother Yashoda thought, all right, I got all the ropes all over my house, which is like Prabhupada says, it's hundreds of feet. Still, she could not bind. So she thought, well, this is not, Krishna is fortunate enough that I cannot do anything. So she gave up the idea. Um, but in competition between Krishna and his devotees, Krishna sometimes agrees to be defeated. Thus, Krishna's internal energy, Yogamaya, was brought to work, and Krishna agreed to be bound by Mother Yashoda. Sometimes devotees withdraw and they say, my lord, I cannot fight with material energy, um, um, with my um, unwanted desires. Everything seems so difficult, my lord. I don't know how will I be able to advance. So when devotees take that kind of humble position, Krishna becomes very pleased, and sometimes Krishna becomes bound by that mood of that devotee. um, I have seen many, many cases in the life of some devotees. They just are like try to, um, I know one devotee, he was trying to spread the message and nobody was listening to him. He would go and distribute books. He would do so many things and he was, every of his endeavor was kind of failing. And he told me one time, he called and he said, Roji, I don't think I can do this service to Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. I'm not qualified. He took a very, very humble position. Prabhu can, either somebody from the temple or somebody can take over this seva in this place and we cannot handle it. I am not qualified. And when he took that humble position in the spirit of I just can't do it, I don't have mercy, then his engagement to spread the message of Krishna consciousness in that place became very, very successful. So Mother Yashoda also, she kind of gave up that idea that we cannot bind Krishna. Let's that's okay. And Krishna immediately decided, and without adding any more rope, she saw that actually the rope has more length, and it became longer, and she was able to tie Krishna. But Krishna, the reason he didn't want to be bound is because he wanted to play with his friend, go and steal butter. He wanted to do his daily activities. But when he saw Mother Yashoda was so um, eager, Krishna decided to give her mercy. We all know Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes this is a state of a devotee also. Um, it is not easy to attract Krishna's mercy, and Krishna, because Krishna knows by giving my mercy, Krishna can give everything else, but his prema bhakti Krishna doesn't give. It's so rare. But um, um, but just like Krishna was not willing to give Mother Yashoda, but when he saw the humble position of Mother Yashoda and she gave up and that kind of mood, Krishna agreed. So our acharyas explains, when Krishna saw that we are struggling so hard and we are pushing ourselves so much and we are being attracted by so many desires and we are tolerating so much, and in spite of all difficult situations we are kind of continuing our service, struggling, dying, fasting, and we are doing everything. When Krishna sees that um, this person is um, uh, going through so many difficult times and he's still continuing his seva and trying to please me, then we become uh, recipient of Krishna's mercy. So two fingers represent our endeavor in Krishna's mercy. um, our endeavor will not give us any results. We cannot get prema, we cannot get taste in the holy name, we cannot get success in any of the services we do by our endeavor. Our endeavor is, it won't give us any results, kind of completely useless in a way if we just remove Krishna's mercy from that. But then when Krishna sees our struggle and intense desire and everything, then one lecture I heard, 99% is our endeavor, 1% is Krishna's mercy. Govind Prabhu says that. So we put on endeavoring, 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 and no result comes. In any service we do, in the holy name, in whatsoever, there is continuous struggle in devotional service. So that is like our endeavor, but and it doesn't get anything done. It's sheer waste of time, kind of. If you see from the results perspective, nothing moves on. But then when Krishna's mercy comes, it does 99% of the things. The whole result comes if Krishna agrees, because Krishna has that sankalpa shakti. When he desires, material nature works very efficiently and he gets everything done. So every endeavor is just to attract Krishna's mercy. My Lord, I am sincere. Prabhu, can you do this? I will do this. But it's so difficult. Krishna is time. Krishna will make it happen. I will do it. Never, just keep on extending and stretching and surrendering to everything that Krishna gives us and puts us into. And always say yes to Krishna and never say no to Krishna, and constantly engage in devotional service. And somehow or the other, um, like I tell you, um, 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 when we were locked down, we are still locked down, the temple is still closed. Two devotees, they were corona positive, congregation, husband, wife, they don't have kids. I mean, they have kid in India. Here they were living alone. We were all positive, and those two devotees were positive. They were extremely weak, and every single day they are coming morning and evening, working for 4 hours to manage the services, and they were doing it day after day, running, practically living on medicines, fighting and serving. After 2 weeks they served like that. I was thinking they are great souls. And when first day or second day, when they were serving, nothing happened. But after 2 weeks, when I saw, in spite of theirs, they were going through lot of struggles. um, they actually, no names, you all will not know them, but they were actually had a court case going on because they did something. The court case came out, and the court case said they have to be put in the prison for 1 year, and then they would be deported to India without a single day of gap. The same cops will take them to the flight and depart them off, and they can never come back to the US again. In spite of a very, very hard time they were going through, their faith in Krishna was so strong. They kept on serving Krishna day after day. And I was thinking, wow. Um, the faith is shown by activities, not just by words. And I was very much like, I developed a lot of appreciation for them. Likewise, we are insignificant part and parcel of Krishna. Likewise, when Krishna sees, because we wanted somebody to serve, because we were completely occupied with our thing. There is no time. Somebody has to do this. Like if I am doing deity worship in the evening, it starts at 4:30 and it goes till 9:30, and it's back to back seva. Today also I have service in half an hour, 20 minutes from now, and back to back seva till 9:30. So who will do all the remaining things that needs to be done during that time? Every devotee has many engagements and everyone is busy, so they were like continuously there. And we are insignificant part and parcel of Krishna, but we were very happy, all the temple devotees, that on them because of their endeavor. Um, their endeavor attracted us, and um, when Yugal Kishore Prabhu is pleased, when all the devotees are pleased, naturally Krishna will be pleased with them, because the whole temple, all the residents, everybody was so happy with them. And I could see that in their reflection when they would come 5 o'clock during the morning, attend Mangal Aarti and do chanting. They are very new devotees, not even initiated, far away from initiation, far far away from initiation, just started chanting 16 rounds less than a year ago. But because of their sincerity, I could see their deepness in their japa. I said, wow, Krishna is giving them so much. Why? Because everybody was pleased with them. So their endeavor did not attract Krishna's mercy, but endeavor is not itself the success of prema bhakti, but the mercy that comes by seeing endeavor. So Krishna is watching us. Krishna is watching every single day, our every single thought. Am I trying to escape? Am I saying no to Krishna? Even if I say yes to Krishna, a- am I eager to serve Krishna, or I am saying yes because I know that I should say yes? What is my internal bhava grahi janardana? Prabhu, can you cook for Krishna? Now Krishna sees inside your heart. Abba, I have to cook for Krishna. And Krishna immediately rejects, because there is no bhav. Kya khayenge Bhagwan? Krishna eats only bhav, only love. What will Krishna eat when we think, Abba, I have to cook for Krishna? But when Krishna sees within, my Lord, I am so grateful to you that you allowed me to cook for you. Please, like this, keep me engaged in your service birth after birth. Then Krishna becomes very hungry. And not once or twice. Um, there are times when we are enthusiastic to serve Krishna, and there are times when we are not enthusiastic. When that time is there that we are not enthusiastic to serve Krishna, that's a sign of immaturity. Our devotion has not matured. That's why sometimes I want to serve and sometimes I don't want to serve. This is a sign of three modes. Sometimes I'm in mode of passion, ignorance, goodness. When goodness and transcendental, I really want to serve Krishna. When I'm with devotee association, I really want to chant. But when when things are not so favorable, not so conducive, then I don't feel like devotional service. I don't feel like, our enthusiasm goes up and down. That's a sign of our immaturity. So when Krishna sees that continuous endeavor with a right motive to please Krishna, and this is something we have to cultivate, and this is something that is a prayer of Satyavrat Muni. Please give me this, give me this, give me this. And then Krishna becomes bound when he sees we are struggling to serve Krishna. Guru becomes purchased by that. When Guru sees this person is trying to follow my instruction and serve me, in spite of so many difficulties. um, um, I remember one time I was in my room, in the temple. We call it servant quarters because everybody who lives there is servant of Radha Govindana Vallabha. So in the servant quarters, in the room that I was living, I was there, and Maharaj came into the room. My spiritual master came into the room, and Jagat Guru Prabhu was there, and Yugal Kishore Prabhu was there, and Jagat Guru Prabhu started speaking about me, and he said, Maharaj, everybody likes him. He just said this one line, and Maharaj became very happy. And Maharaj said, "Oh," and Maharaj smiled, and then Maharaj immediately, embraced in a way as a sign of affection. So I know that a spiritual master is pleased. Every spiritual master is pleased if we keep all the devotees happy. If we try to serve all the devotees. Um, if you want to do something that will help you advance, try to please devotees. By the mercy of devotees, we will be pulled along. We will receive. When devotees were asked by Prabhupada at the end, Prabhupada, how can we serve? Prabhupada said, cooperate. Cooperate among each other and try to serve each other, try to please each other. No matter what is the situation, try to please. The goal is to please Guru and Krishna. There is no other goal. We should finish in 10 minutes. Wherever we are, we will finish with that because this Damodar Leela is extending 3 chapters, and if we go in detail, it takes multiple discussions for Damodar Leela. But since Krishna is bound, we are happy because he wanted Krishna to be bound. In the Upanishads, it is said, this is something from Srila Prabhupada purport. Beautiful. I really like these points. In the Upanishad, it is said Supreme Personality of Godhead can run with more speed than the mind. But here we see that although Krishna wanted to avoid being arrested by his mother, he was finally defeated and Mother Yashoda captured him. Krishna can speed faster than speed of mind, but Mother Yashoda captured him. Krishna is served by hundreds and thousands. Lakshmi Sahasa Satasambhrama Sevya Manam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. He is served by hundreds and thousands of goddess of fortune. Goddess of fortune provide. Now today many people in India, they worship Lakshmi so that money will come. They worship Ganesh so that impediments will be removed. Many people do that, but Krishna is served by hundreds and thousands of such goddess of fortune, yet he is stealing butter as if he is poverty stricken. Yamraj fears the order of Krishna, yet Krishna is afraid of mother's stick. These contradictions cannot be understood by one who is not a devotee, but a devotee can understand how powerful is unalloyed devotional service. What devotional service can do? They can make Krishna steal, they can make Krishna become afraid of mother's stick, they can make Krishna bound by Mother Yashoda, they can make Krishna do anything. The gopis make Krishna dance. They make Krishna bow down on his knees. They make Krishna do anything. Why? That is the power of pure devotion. Other than devotee, nobody can understand how powerful is pure devotion, what it can do. And that's why it is Sudurlabha. Sudurlabha means Atyanta Durlabha. Ex- extremely rare. He became the chariot driver of Arjuna out of pure love. Arjuna ordered him, my dear Krishna, you have agreed to be my charioteer and to execute my order. Place my chariot between the two armies of soldiers. Krishna immediately executed the order. That is the power of pure devotion. You can make Krishna do anything. He still has the free will and he may not accept, but in general, you can make Krishna do anything. That is the power of pure devotion. And that's what Satyavrat Muni, this whole prayer, give me pure devotion, pure devotion, pure devotion. क्या चाहिए? मोक्षा चाहिए, अपने पास रखो. और क्या चाहिए? वैकुंठा चाहिए, भिखारी को दो. और क्या चाहिए? कुछ चाहिए, कुछ ऑपुलेंस चाहिए, रिजेक्ट. क्या चाहिए? तथा प्रेम भक्तिम स्वकम में प्रयाचा नामोक्ष ग्रहो में स्थित दामोदरेहा. केवल प्रेम भक्ति चाहिए. प्रेमा भक्ति के अलावा कुछ नहीं चाहिए. शरीर को जान से मार दो, दिमाग को मार दो, जो करना है करो. प्रेमा भक्ति दो. प्रेमा भक्ति दो, प्रेमा भक्ति दो. गिड़गिड़ाएंगे, रोएंगे, मरेंगे, पीटेंगे, जो करना है करो. प्रेमा भक्ति, प्रेमा भक्ति, प्रेमा भक्ति. There is nothing higher. If you get prema bhakti, what you can't do with Krishna? We can be happy only with loving devotion, and loving devotion can be achieved when we, with all eagerness, stretch and push ourselves to get the mercy of Krishna. Then only Prema Bhakti is achieved. See, it is most rare thing. Uh, how can it come so easy? Anything that get comes so easy does not have any value. Anybody can get it. Krishna doesn't want any Tom, Dick, and Harry to control him. Only that pure love one should have for Krishna. So, this is the desire of Satyavrata Muni, who prays वरम देव मोक्षम न मोक्षम वधिम वा नाचन्यम वरनेहम वरेशदपिहा इदम ते वपुरनाथ गोपाल बालम सदा मे मनस्या वीरस्तम किमन्य वरम वर means boon varam deva um, varam deva moksham. I don't want moksha. Now moksham vadim, or the perfection of moksha, which is Vaikuntha planet, I don't want that. Nachanyam, desire. Chaha is desire. Nachanyam, um, nachanyam vraneham vareshad apiha. um, um, Vareshad is anything great. Ishad. Vareshad apiha. I don't want anything great also. What do you want? I don't want any other boon. I don't want moksha, liberation. I don't want Vaikuntha planet. What do you want? Idam deva puranatha gopala balam. Vapu. Vapu is form. Your form of Gopal. O Lord Nath. O Lord, He Nath, the form of Gopal, because he is in Vasalyaras, he has that mood. Idam te Vapurnata Gopala Balam Sada me Manasya Avirastam Kim Anya. Um, Avir means to enter. No, we say Avir Bhav and Tirobhav. Avir Bhav is appearance and Tirobhav is disappearance. Um, Avir, let this form of Gopal always enter and remain sada in my mind. That's all. Kimanya. What is the use of any other boon? I don't want anything else. I just want I just want to capture you in my heart. Bilwa Mangal Thakur, he plugged his eyes and became blind when he saw a beautiful woman. And he said, "These eyes are cause of my distraction. I don't want these eyes." And he asked one person to take him to Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, he would always chant the names of Krishna. Krishna, knowing that he cannot see him, Krishna would bring him a glass of milk every day. And later on, he realized the person who is bringing glass of milk is Krishna, and he started running. Although he was blind, he was trying to chase Krishna when Krishna would bring the glass of milk, and he could not chase. And he doesn't know where to look, but he would tell Krishna, "You can escape me from my hands, but you cannot escape me from my heart. I have captured you here. You cannot go anywhere from here. I cannot catch you. Doesn't matter. I have captured you here." And Satyavrat Muni is telling, uh, I don't want moksha, Vaikuntha, or any other great benediction, nothing. May you always be captured in my heart here. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Kola Vechashrida asked for a benediction, do you want Astasiddhis? आप ही रखो. क्या चाहिए? वैकुंठा चाहिए? नहीं चाहिए. um, और क्या चाहिए? हेवनली प्लैनेट इंद्रा बनना है. जो इंद्रा है उसको बने रहने दो. मुझे इंद्रा नहीं बनना है. ब्रह्मलोक ब्रह्मा चाहिए. आप ही रखो. कुछ तो मांगो. कुछ नहीं चाहिए. कुछ तो मांगो. May that Nimai who always comes to steal my banana leaves, may that Nimai always capture my heart. So this we see repeatedly by these devotees that they want to capture Krishna. They want to make Krishna the imprisoner in their heart. But we hear from Krishna Avirbhav Mahotsav that Krishna can be captured in our heart only when the heart is pure. And heart becomes pure when Guru removes lust, anger, envy, greed, pride. Then Krishna cannot be captured in an impure heart. Otherwise, the heart will desire so many things. Only when the heart has no other desire and the only desire is Krishna, Krishna becomes um, um, captured. Idam te mukham bhojam atyanta nilay vritam kundalay snigdha rakta shagopya mohoshumbitam bimba rakta dharam me manasya virastam alam lakshya labhe. Idam te mukham, Krishna's face description. Idam te mukham bhojam atyanta nilay. Again the word ambuj comes. Ambuj is, that is mukha. Mukha is face, the lotus like face of Krishna. Mukham bhojam. And what is that? Atyanta nilay. Nila is blue. Atyanta nila is deep blue. And Prabhupada describes as blackish lotus white. It is so deep that it is like a black. So idante mukham bhojam atyanta nilay. Atyanta nila vritam vritam kuntalay snigdha. Kunta is hair, hairs, and vratam is like the curls. Vratam kuntalay, so his face is deep blue and he has curls of hairs. He has curly hairs with curls here. So vritam kuntalay, um, snigdha raktash. Snigdha rakta means flashy red. The face is flashy red. Why? Cha from Gopya muhuschumbitam. Chumba is kissing. So muhu is again and again. Again and again, this Gopi, Mother Yashoda, is kissing Krishna's mukha. So it has become like Snigdha Rakta. So his face atyanta nila, deep blue with curls of hairs, has become reddened overall by the repeated kissing of Mother Yashoda, and that is compared to um, 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 like a bimba. Bimba is a fruit. It's a color of a rakta. Bimba rakta dharam. Muhushumbitam bimba rakta dharam me. So that is another description. It is red, snigdha, and it is like a bimba fruit. So it's a description. Manasya avirastam. Again, let that form appears in my mind. आलम लक्ष्य लाभ है, बाकी बाकी किसी वर का क्या फायदा, आप ही रखो। आपको क्या चाहिए? ये ब्यूटीफुल फेस ऑफ कृष्णा made enter in my heart and may capture it within my heart. Okay. O Lord, the cheeks of your blackish lotus face, which is encircled by locks of curling hair, have become reddened like bimba fruit due to Mother Yashoda's kisses. What more can I describe than this? Millions of opulences, आलम लक्ष्य लाभ है, और किसी लाभ का मुझे कोई कोई चाह नहीं है. But may this vision constantly remain in my mind. We should finish quickly. Let me at least cover this three verses of Damodar Ashtakam, because we are singing it every day. That help us to deepen our meditation. Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabho Dukha Jalabhi Maganam Kripa Dishti Vrishtyati Dinam Batanu Grihanishamam Agyam Adiyakshi Drishye. Namo Deva. I offer my humble obeisances to Deva, O Lord, Damodar, O Damodar, Ananta, O Ananta, who is unlimited, Vishnu, O Vishnu. So four names are used. O Lord, O my Lord, O Damodar, O Ananta, O Vishnu. Prasida. Prasida means be pleased upon me. um, Dukkha jalabdhi maganam. Jala is water and jalabdhi is ocean. What is this ocean? Ocean of sorrow. Magna is I am drowning. I am drowning in this ocean of sorrow, and this sorrow is because of sorrow of separation. When a devotee has lust, anger, envy, he has no separation from Krishna because he is happy, satisfying lust, anger, envy. But when the devotee has no other desire, then there is nothing remains for him to live in this world, because what to live for? Everything is a material desire. So he lives for Krishna. He lives to be to be in constant association of Krishna, and that feeling of separation from Krishna is like ocean of suffering for him. Dukha jalabdi maghanam, kripa dishti vristyati dinam batanu. You are Deen Dayal. You are fallen. You are the Lord of the fallen. You show mercy to the fallen. I am very deen. I am very fallen. Kripa dishti, vristyati, um, varsha. Vrishtya is varsha or shower. Shower your glance of mercy. Just look upon me and shower your glance of mercy. I am very fallen and very low. Um, 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 and I am suffering in this ocean of dukkha. O Lord, please be pleased upon me and show your mercy upon me. Mhm. Grihanisha mam agyam adi akshidishya. I am agyan. I am ignorant fool. Um, 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 Drishay, please um, protect me from your merciful glance. O unlimited Vishnu, O Master, O Lord, be pleased upon me. I am drowning in an ocean of sorrow and I am almost like a dead man. Please shower the rain of mercy on me, uplift me, and protect me from your nectarian vision. While Mother Yashoda was very busy with household affairs, we have, I think, 4 5 slides remaining. Was very busy with household affairs, the Supreme Lord Krishna observed the twin trees known as Yamala Arjuna, which in the former millennium had been the demigod sons of Kuvera. So these were the two trees who were cursed to become the trees because they were proud by Narad Muni. So when Krishna was bound, he saw the two trees, and uh, although these two young men are the sons of very rich Kuvera, and Krishna was thinking while he was being tied by the grinding motor of Mother Yashoda, he was thinking, he saw the two trees, and he was thinking, although these two men are the sons of very rich Kuvera, and I have nothing to do with them. Krishna was thinking, I have nothing to do with them because they have no love for me, so I have nothing to do. They were proud people. Devarshi Narada is my very dear and affectionate devotee, and therefore, because he wanted me to come face to face with them, I must do so for their deliverance. And Prabhupada says Krishna has nothing to do with them because they were ignorant, full of material desires. There is no love. Krishna is attracted by love. Um, um, but because Narad Muni has given him, they given his mercy to them, I am bound. If one seeks the favor of a devotee instead of directly asking favors from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is very easily successful. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has therefore recommended Vaishnava Thakur Tomhara Kukur Bhuliya Janaha More. Krishna said Tomar, Krishna Dite Par. Krishna is yours. I am running behind you calling Krishna Krishna. I don't have Krishna. I don't know Krishna. My heart is filled with lust, envy, pride. What do I have? I have only these impurities. I am talking about myself. How can I please Krishna? I cannot please Krishna. Full of Prabhupada says dirty things. That is my heart. Uh, but you have Krishna to a spiritual master. You have Krishna. Um, um, y- I am running behind you, following you, so you can request Krishna. If you request Krishna, Krishna will become mine. So that's the mood. Is approaching through Vaishnava. So Krishna, having thus spoken, Krishna soon entered between the two Arjuna trees, and thus the big mortar to which he was bound turned clockwise and stuck between them. So, as you see in a picture, the two trees were there, and this is a small grinding mortar. I mean, it's a big mortar, but compared to these Yamala Arjuna trees are like they are too big. They are really really big. So his mortar stuck between the two trees and he pulled it with his dama udar. And Prabhupada, okay, by dragging behind him with great force the wooden mortar tied to his belly, the boy Krishna uprooted the two trees. By the great strength of the Supreme Person, the two trees with their trunks, leaves, and branches trembled severely and fell to the ground like a crash. So they were like zzz, the whole Vrindavan started shaking zzz, because they have very deep roots. And as Krishna was putting force, Prabhupada said, "This is a pastime of Krishna. This is the pastime of Krishna known as Damodar Lila." Dama means rope, and Udar means belly. So Mother Yashoda tied Krishna's belly with the rope. That's why Damodar. And also with the rope tying his belly, he pulled a grinding motor and uproot the two trees. For these two reasons, it is called Damodar Lila. And as he pulled harsh, the whole earth was shaking, and these two trees fell down. And all the cowherd boys, his friends, they were always with him. The elder Gopas, Gopis, they were busy with their Diwali celebration and Indra Puja next day, and these cowherd boys, they were looking and they have nothing to do. And they have nothing to do other than be with Krishna. And they were looking at Krishna and they are like, oh, and he just, the trees fell down. And then something most astonishing happened is two heavenly demigods they came. Thereafter, in that very place, the very place where the two Arjuna trees had fallen, the two great perfect personalities who appeared like fire personified. They were like fire. The Bapu, the form is like a fire. Fire personified came out of the two trees, the effulgence of their beauty illuminating all direction. With heads they offered obeisances to Krishna, and with hands folded they glorified the Lord. I have not kept prayers of glorification here because I know I could not cover. But they both they both their heads to glorify the Lord. Their hearts were filled with pride and lust. They were bathing naked with women and in the Kailash Parvat because they were devotees of Lord Shiva, and near Mandakini Ganga River. Ganga River is a holy river meant for purification, and they were bathing naked with naked women. Even when sage Narad Muni came, they were so proud. They were thinking, who cares? I have so much wealth, I have women, I have beauty, and they were extremely beautiful. They didn't care to show respect, and they were standing in front of Narad Muni without any clothes, and they had no shame on themselves. All the ladies, knowing out of etiquette, they covered themselves, but these two were like completely two great rascals. And Narad Muni, because the mercy and the criticism of a devotee is the same, Narad Muni curse them to become the trees. So this was the behavior. They were so fallen, but why they became purified is because the trees also hear Krishna Katha. And because they are living souls, ears, everyone has ears. So they were hearing Krishna Katha. Haridas Thakur said, if you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, all the trees and leaves gets benefited. So because all the gopis and they were chanting Krishna's glories all the time, the two trees, although their hearts were full of envy, pride, and lust, um, and they became pure devotees. They became purified just by hearing Krishna Katha. And when they became purified, Krishna liberated them. Krishna, the boon of Narad Muni, if they had become trees anywhere, which was where Krishna Katha is not going on, life was waste. Narad Muni heard Krishna Katha from Bhakti Vedantas, he became purified. Anybody who hear Krishna Katha becomes purified, submissively, with eagerness, over a period of time becomes purified. This is just 3 years, but Krishna Katha is so powerful. Second last verse. कुबेरात्मा जाओ बाधा मूर्त्यैव यादवात् त्वया मोचितौ भक्ति भाजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकं मे प्रयाच नामोक्षे ग्रहो मे दामोदरेहा. Kuberat Majau. Atmajau is the two sons of Kubera. Kuberatmajau, Baddha, Murtyaiva, Yadvat. So they were bound by the curse from Narad Muni. We know that. Um, uh, um, uh, Baddha Murtyaiva Yadvat. Murtya, Srila Prabhupada describes, refers to the grinding motor. So, although they were bound by the curse Baddha by Narad Muni, Murtyaiva Yadvat, by the grinding motor with the belly, Krishna liberated them. How? Tvaya Mochitao. Mochitao is liberated. You liberated them. They were bound, but with the grinding motor between the trees, and Tvaya, you Mochita, you liberated them. And what did you do? Bhakti bhajav kritaucha, and you granted them prema bhakti. Kritav, you gave them, you awarded them prema bhakti. Um, वही सेम प्रेमा भक्ति तथा प्रेमा भक्ति स्व कम में प्रयाचा गिव मी दैट बेनेडिक्शन नामोक्षे ग्रहो मेस्ति दामोदरिहा I don't want moksha or any other benediction just like they were proud and lusty and greedy and angry and envious. I have the same qualities. They were bound in this material world. I am bound in this material world. You freed them and give them, granted them prema bhakti. Just like you showed your mercy to the two sons of Kuvera, grant the same mercy to me also and give me, just like you give them prema bhakti, give me prema bhakti. I don't want another any other benediction. O Lord Damodara, in your form as a baby mother, as a baby, Mother Yashoda bound you to a grinding stone with a rope for tying cows. You then freed the sons of Kuvera, Manigriva and Nala Kuvera. These were the two sons who were cursed to stand at trees, and you gave them the chance to become your devotees. Please bless me in the same way. Um, I have no desire for liberation. Um, into your effulgence. Namastestu damne spura dipti damne twadiyodara tha vishwasya damne namo radhikaya twadiya priyaya namo nantalilaya devaya tubhyam namo radhikaya twadiya priyaya namo nantalilaya devaya tubhyam namastestu damne. I offer my obeisances to damne. Damne is the rope. What is the nature of the rope? Sfuradipti dipti damne twadiyodara yatha vishwasya damne. Twadiya, your udar, your belly, um, 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 which is bound to your belly, and the belly is compared to Vishwasya Damne, the whole universe. How? Because from the belly of Mahavishnu comes the lotus flower. In that lotus flower, there are all the planets. So everything is contained within the belly of the Lord. So I offer to the rope who bound the entire dham, the entire universe. That's why I pay obeisances to such a rope. Um, Namo Radhikaya, Tvadiya Priyarai. I offer my obeisances to Radhika, Tvadiya Priyaya, who is very dear to you. Tvadiya is you. Tvadiya Priyaya, who is very dear to you. Namo Nanta Leelaya, and I offer my obeisances to your unlimited pastimes. Ananta Leela Devaya Tobhyam, that you perform. O Lord, the entire universe was created by Lord Brahma, who was born from your abdomen, which was bound with the robe by Mother Yashoda. To this rope, I offer my humble obeisances. I offer my obeisances to your most beloved Srimati Radharani and to your unlimited pastimes. And then, this is the last slide for today. And then, the two Nalla Guvera and Mani Griva were liberated, and all the boys. अरे चलो 5 मिनट दो फिर बात करते हैं हरी this is actually Giriraj Prabhu's room. So the owner of the room came here. Okay. So after the two the two trees fell down, there was a huge tumultuous sound, and these two demigods came and they left. Um, and they prayed to Krishna and they left. All the cowherd boys, when they saw everything, they were struck with wonder. And hearing the great sound, all the Vrajvasis and Nanda Maharaj, they all came to see what happened. And there was a great commotion, and they asked everybody. Krishna was not visible because there were such huge trees that um, Krishna was not visible. He was hidden somewhere under some branches. They have fallen. But the boys who were visible, they asked the boys what happened, and the boy said, well, Krishna came, and Krishna put the grinding mortar between the tree, and the tree fell down, and then the two demigods came like a fire, and they paid obeisances. Nobody believed the boys, and anyways they just ignored the boys, and but they were very concerned, where is Krishna? And mother and Nanda Maharaj was looking for Krishna. He was going around everywhere searching where is Krishna. In one corner, Krishna was crying, uh, and he was sitting, being bound by the grinding mortar. And mother and Nanda Baba immediately freed Krishna from the grinding mortar. It is said that the cowherd boys also tried to free Krishna from the grinding mortar, but they could not do so because Krishna was bound by Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda is Vatsalya Ras. Vatsalya Ras is higher than Sakya Ras. So the friends could not help him. But when Nanda Baba came, Nanda Baba could easily untie, and Krishna sat on the lap of Nanda Baba, and and Krishna said, "Do you want to go to Mother Yashoda?" And Krishna said, "No, I never want to see Mother Yashoda again. Because of her only, I'm in this situation." And Krishna was crying. And then Nanda Baba said, "Then who will feed you?" And Krishna said, "Baba, you are there now. You will feed me. Who will take care? Who will dress? Who will bathe? Baba, you will do everything." And Mother Yashoda was very much afraid, sitting in one corner, and this fear was uh, overpowering her, that maybe Krishna is no more. And this tree is, and she was cursing herself, why did I tie this naughty boy? And he went with this, and then this mishappening happened. Some demons must have attacked, some Rakshasas must have come here, and they throw the tree onto Krishna. And she was getting all these thoughts, and Krishna is not visible, and she was blinded by the tears. And then Nanda Baba explained the position of Mother Yashoda, that she is blinded by the tears, sitting there at the verge of her death in your separation. And then Krishna became very active, and Krishna said, Maya, 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 and Krishna started running. He was already free, Maya, 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 and he immediately sat into the lap of Mother Yashoda with tears, and Mother Yashoda also in tears, and Krishna is also in tears. And when she looked at the beautiful face of Krishna, she was just flooding and bathing Krishna with her tears, and she embraced him, and that's how this Damodar Leela comes to an end. So this all thing happened today, and we are very grateful that on this day we are able to discuss this whole Damodar Leela. Okay, uh, can we end here?
Yes, bro. Thanks.
Hari,
Hare
my obeisances to all of you.
Hare
Vancha
Krishna Bhai.
Anil Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Bhai.
Okay. Um, no question, right?
No Prabhuji.
Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhesha kripa sindhubhyo vacha patitanam pavane vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Anant koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.